This lineup solves a lot for New York. Will we see a Kidline 2.0 on the Blue Shirts' bottom six, or will Sully opt for a more stable solution? I break it down in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for Blue Shirt fandom, and I'm your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys on this fun Friday, the 1st of August, and man, oh man, we are inching closer and closer towards the end of summer, unfortunately, but on the bright side, we are getting that much closer towards the start of the NHL season, and man, I cannot wait. We got a lot to get into here today, folks, but before we do that, a quick reminder that about 77% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel. So please hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Not only that, guys, so you can be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's waste no more time and hop right into today's video. So I was reading an article, once again from ForeverBlueShirts.com, written by Jim Cerny, and they do a tremendous job over there. And the headline of this article was, Johnny Brodzinski preps for Rangers season with Summer League hat trick in the Beauty League. And I know what a lot of you are probably thinking out there, what exactly is the Beauty League? So we're going to get into that right now. The Beauty League is a popular summer hockey league in Minnesota, and actually Brodzinski is a Minnesota native, that features plenty of professional players. Checking is forbidden. There's plenty of open ice playing 4-on-4, and defense is absolutely optional. There are other quirky rules that have helped make this an extremely popular league to play in during the offseason. So guys, just to sum that up and put a nice bow on it, put it in a nutshell, it's essentially pickup hockey in the offseason. You know, it's helpful for getting away from that grind, you know, those weightlifting sessions and all those types of things. So essentially, it's pickup hockey. Now, things turn a bit more serious for the 32-year-old when he returns to New York for training camp in September. Coming off a career-high 12 goals in 51 games last season, Brodzinski is in the mix to center the Rangers' third line or possibly fourth line should Sam Carrick be moved up by new head coach Mike Sullivan. Guys, just want to get this out there. I don't believe that Mike Sullivan will move Sam Carrick from the fourth line to the third line. And the reason that is simply because that Rangers fourth line, obviously bringing back Edstrom and Rempe to pair with Carrick, it's an identity fourth line. And quite frankly, it was the Rangers' best line at moments last season, especially towards the end of the year, single-handedly winning them some games. Like I said, every postseason team could use an identity fourth line. The Rangers certainly have it. It is a tough and physical line. The Twin Towers, obviously, with Rempe and Edstrom, and Carrick up the middle certainly plays with that snarl, that 200-foot game that you love to see. So I don't see Sully breaking up that fourth line. Just wanted to get that out there. But now I want to dive into the stats when it comes to Johnny Brodzinski. All right, guys, as you can see, 51 total games last season. He's 6 feet tall, weighs over 200 pounds. He's 32 years of age, 19 points total last year, 12 goals, 7 assists. He was a +6 in 11 minutes and 41 seconds of ice time. So as you can see here, the 5th round pick by the Kings in the 2013 draft, coming off his best season in the NHL, to be honest with you. Played most of his years with the Kings, but these last 3 years he's been with the Rangers. And these last 2 seasons, he has shown consistent production. Like I said, coming off his best year yet. Let's talk about the good and the bad. The good, when it comes to Brodzinski, is that speed, size, and snarl that the Rangers have been prioritizing this offseason. Remember, Chris Drury said he wanted the Rangers to add more players with that speed, that size, and that snarl. And Brodzinski certainly has it. He doesn't score at a high clip. You can see 12 goals this past season, but he puts the puck in the back of the net when the opportunity arises and presents itself. He's got that leadership. Nominated for the Bill Masterton Trophy this past year. Each team has one player that's nominated for it. It highlights sportsmanship, dedication, and perseverance. So there's a lot to like when it comes to Brodzinski. Now, it's not all good, obviously. There is some bad. Now, when it comes to Johnny Brodzinski, what you see is what you get, right? So we know his floor isn't very low. The problem is his ceiling isn't very high, and the reason that is because he's 32 years of age, obviously not getting any younger here. Like I said, what you see is what you get. So you're going to get a productive player when he's on the ice, but he doesn't possess any, elite traits. He doesn't have an elite skill set, but he certainly makes up for it with the type of tenacity that he plays with, no doubt about it. Something else I want to get into here. Now, there's also the Mika Zibanejad factor, which will impact Brodzinski one way or another. If Zibanejad plays center next season, the Rangers are 4 deep down the middle with him, JT Miller, Vincent Trocheck, and Carrick. That leaves Brodzinski battling for a spot on the wing in the bottom 6 or as the 13th forward, a role he's very familiar with. Like I said, guys, said it here on the channel time and time again. The Rangers' most depth comes from up the middle. That's why moving Mika to the wing wouldn't be the end of the world, because the Rangers would still have some good depth at that position. And I believe it would benefit the Rangers moving Mika to that wing position. I want to read the rest of this passage right here. If Zibanejad plays right wing in the top 6, that opens up a spot down the middle. In that scenario, Brodzinski will compete with Juuso Parssinen primarily for a spot in the top 12 forward group. So let's take a look at the lineup projection from Puckpedia. The reason I would love, you can see Brodzinski sitting there as the 13th forward in the press box. The reason I would love to see Johnny Brodzinski play third line center is obviously the big elephant in the room. You'd be able to move Mika to right wing. We saw last year with JT Miller, that duo was dynamic. 28 points in 25 games at right wing for Mika Zibanejad. Not only that, but putting him at that second right wing position, you'd be able to put Gabe Perreault back in the AHL. And the reason I say that is because I'd like to see him develop down there a little bit more before, throwing him on that second line. The Rangers have done a nice job identifying talent. He's obviously a prolific player, prolific playmaker, but they haven't been able to develop these players, to reach their full potential. So I don't want to rush the process when it comes to Perreault. I am still very high on him. He's the best Rangers prospect. But I'd like to see him play at least, 10 to 20 games down there in the AHL and bring him up when he's ready to contribute. In the meantime, you'd be able to put Brodzinski at third line center, Mika at second right wing, which would work perfectly on that line with JT Miller and Will Cooley. You'd still be able to have Lafreniere at first right wing. And look, he's coming off a down season, no doubt about it. But when it comes to 5-on-5 play, he was still the Rangers' second leading scorer in 5-on-5 play behind the Breadman. So although he had a down year, when it comes to full strength, he was, still productive. And I'm going to get into this in another video when it comes to Lafreniere. Obviously, a way that Sullivan could help him be even more productive would be putting him on that power play. Like I said, he's had success at even strength. So with the man advantage, you'd expect him to have some success there as well. But getting back to this lineup, like I said, when it comes to this third line in the bottom 6, I'd love to see a Kidline 2.0 eventually with Juuso Parssinen, with Bret Botfeld, and with Gabe Perreault. But like I said, Gabe Perreault, not exactly ready yet, in my opinion. You saw he hasn't recorded a goal yet. Just played a handful of games last year, 5 games to be exact. But I would like to see him get some more development down there. Bret Botfeld, it's going to be exciting to see a fully healthy season from him. I believe he'll get a shot to start at third left wing. And eventually, Sullivan could explore having that Kidline 2.0 when it's ready, though. When it's ready to be deployed. To start the season, coming off that wretched type of year we just had, you know what you're going to get when it comes to Brodzinski. I'd like to see some stability there on that third line. Radish is a new addition. Berard, like I said, he's still young, so you don't know exactly what you're going to get from Berard and Radish. Putting Brodzinski there on that third line instead of Parsonen would add some stability. One last thing I want to get into here when it comes to Brodzinski, the guy's leadership. This is an article from The Athletic, and this quote came from Will Cooley during the season on Brodzinski. He said, "He was my role model in Hartford, my first year pro." Who had added Cooley, who had been one of the Rangers' top forwards this season. I was always hanging out at his house with some of the other older guys. And then he's obviously huge for some of the younger guys like Berard and Othman who are newer to the team. He's huge for everyone. So like I said, Brodzinski, he's earned it. He's coming off the best year of his NHL career. He's been productive with the Blue Shirts these past 2 seasons. His teammates love him. He's a leader on and off the ice. And like I said, you could always explore that Kidline 2.0 when it's ready to be deployed. I just don't think that it's ready right now. Like I said, let Perreault develop a little bit further. Let Berard get some more games now that he's healthy under his belt. Let Parsonen hopefully bounce back. Hopefully he returns to his 2022-2023 form. And that's something you could explore down the line. But to start the season, coming off the year we just had with all that chaos, I would certainly start Brodzinski on that third line, move Mika to the second line with JT Miller and Will Cooley. That's what I would do. But I am fascinated to hear what you guys think. What would you guys do? Would you have Brodzinski start on that third line? Would you have him as the Rangers' 13th forward? Make sure you give us a follow on X as well, at Rangers Digest YT, because the conversation always continues over there and in the comment section. So make sure you leave your comment down below and hit that free subscribe button if you haven't yet so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Enjoy your weekend, guys. We'll talk soon.